Welcome to Starful.com. This is a website that opened in September 2002 as a free public service to teach children to read with phonics. It is a phonics approach with a conjunction with phonics awareness practice for perfect preschool, kindergarten, first grade, and second graders with special education, homeschooled students, or English language development. First, I'm going to go into the ABCs right here, and it says, let's get ready to read. As you can see, down below it has all of the vowel sounds, A, E, I, O, and U, and then each letter up at the top, A through Z. Let's see, for example, if you click on A, each letter will give you the sound and a picture, and it will continue to give other pictures that associate with that certain sound. And I'll show you an example once it loads. This gives you A and as lowercase. And it'll give you the sound again if you click on the A, and then it'll say apple. And then if you hit the arrow, it'll say A again, and if you click on the A, it'll say the sound and the picture of it. And it'll continue like that for how long you want. You can do that for other letters throughout the alphabet, not just A. Now we're going to go back to the main index, and we're going to go to number 2, which is Learn to Read, which is Zach the Rat and Other Tales. You can click on any of these right here to help form a certain word. And then over here is a book that associates with that, and then on the very right hand side is a skill that you were just practicing. For example, if you want to try to spell out a word with an, you would click on it. And it will say it to you A and N, and it will say an. And then you're going to have to see the picture. It's a mouse running, so you need to figure out which letter will fit with that. So it would be R. You would drag the R in, and it would repeat ran. Then the next picture will come up, and it's a pan. So the child will have to, or student will have to find out which letter associates with pan. And then it'll be pan. Each of these activities, it will talk back to you, but since I'm telling you about it, I took the sound off. And then this is fan, so you would do the F-A-N as fan. And lastly, that's a can, so you would use the C. And you can use any of these to help you form the words, and it progressively gets difficult as you go down. And then the books along the side associates with what you just did, and in the illustrations you can pick on the certain pictures and they will actually tell you what they are if you have trouble reading the story. Now we're going to go back to the main index, and it's fun to read. Step 3, About Me, Art Gallery, Magic, and More. Okay, this one, there are all different and fun ways to get the student or child to read through All About Me, which describes how old you are, what color hair you have, what your birthday is, and everything like that. The art gallery goes through and shows famous artists and their pictures and describes and helps them read throughout that. The magic show, there's music, poetry, tongue twisters that help the children, and it's all different kinds of fun that will interest them. And then the last step is I'm Reading, and if you click on that, there are all different kinds of books that they can read. For example, if you just go into fiction and nonfiction, there are fiction stories and there are nonfiction stories. And down at the bottom for them are like puzzles if they would like to do that. For example, if you say I can do it, you want to read that book, you would click on it. And as it's loading, you can click, see how it highlights it, you can click that and it'll repeat it back to you through everything that it has down here, and you just hit the arrow and you would try to read, and if a child or a student is having difficulty, you can just click on it and it will repeat the word back to them. And to go to the next page, you would just click back and forth, and it goes throughout the whole story. And you can do those for any one of those. If you go back to I'm Reading, there are obviously more kinds: Chinese fables, Greek myths, folk tales, comics, and 3 little plays. If we go back to the main index, over to the right hand side here, how it says calendar, gingerbread, grandparent, pumpkin, all of these over here. These are different games that the student or child can play. For example, for the calendar, they can make their own calendar, and it'll show them the day, the month, and the year that they are in present. Like gingerbread, you can decorate the gingerbread man with certain things. The grandparent is you can help Zach write a letter to his grandparents. And the pumpkin, you read each sentence and what to do to the pumpkin, and you get to create it and decorate it. For example, it says, pick eyes for the pumpkin. You would read the sentence. If you have difficulty, you can click on the word, it'll repeat it back to you. And then they have certain eyes that you can choose from to decorate your pumpkin, and it's a little fun for them to do. They're all about the holidays and a lot of fun for they can experiment on and help them read throughout phonics. Lastly, over here, this is under the side of Starfall. It's more Starfall about math. It's loading, give it a second. Well, once it gets into here, the Starfall math is all about math songs, multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition. And there's songs and games and rhythms and rhymes that can go along with the math. You have to join this. It's for free, but it's not part of the original starfall.com. And I think it's having a little difficulty getting in here. But this is Starfall's website, and thanks for listening. And if your student or child needs help with reading and phonics, come join the fun at www.starfall.com.